just a friendly reminder, a family deported together stays together, okay, guys? And shout out to Tom Homan, all right? Unfortunately, he's on CNN, Cap News Network, okay? It's full of crap. Crap News Network is another good one, too. Communist News Network, Commie News Network. Drop down your best CNN names in the comments below. And he's in enemy territory. He's in the Sith Lord CNN space with Sith Lord Dana Bash. And yeah, she, you know, when I think of Dana Bash, you know, it brings up this one quote, you can't fix stupid. And that's that. It's pretty unfortunate that she has a very strong comprehension problem. And that's that, guys. But Tom Homan remains stoic and gets through it all and gets through this mystical nonsense from the left. With that being said, smash the like button, hit subscribe. Shout out to the King Squad. Let's get right into the video. Thank you to everyone who donates to the channel and keeps me updated in the emails. Let's go.
Tom Homan, thank you so much for joining me. I want to ask with something that you said last night, that your deportation operation starts today. Did it?
Yeah, ISIS, they're out there enforcing law out today. And of course, as I've said numerous times, they're concentrating on public safety threats. That'll be our priority right out of the gate. So ICE officers are back to doing their job.
Where are these, are they actual raids? And how is it different from what we saw yesterday or the day before?
Well, look, I wouldn't call them raids. They're target enforcement operations. They know exactly who they're looking for. They know pretty much where they'll find them. So, again, these are well-planned operations. They're well investigated, so they have a lot of backup information when they go out there. A whole team goes out for officer safety concerns. So this happens throughout the nation. I mean, I'm not going to tell you specific locations out of officer safety concerns, but ICE is back doing their job effective today. They haven't been able to do it for 4 years.
I just want to interject right there and say, does anybody else notice this like crazy deranged look in her eyes? You ever notice Kristen Welker has the same exact look where they're like, like, I can see your social security number. Like, I mean, is it just me? I just had to say that. They have like this, I'm looking to break you down, Tom Homan. I'm looking to make you look like a narcissist. It's pretty crazy. I just noticed that. Let me know if you guys have noticed that too down below in the comments. Let's go.
Well, I'm going to follow up on that in 1 second. But who is ICE going after right now? I know that you and others said several times that it is the people who pose the biggest public safety threat to Americans who would be approached and deported first. Is that still the case?
Yes, people in the country illegally that have a criminal conviction that makes them a public safety threat. That's our priority.
How are you finding them?
Again, these ICE officers across the country have a non-detained docket. They know who these people are. When they don't show up in court, they fail to leave as ordered by an immigration judge, or they have, you know, NCIC information on someone who is arrested for a violent crime here that's in the country illegally. They take those leads, they do investigative work, and through that work, try to find out where these people may be located. And that's the whole investigative piece they do before they go out and actually make an arrest.
And so what is happening as we speak is limited to those with criminal records?
That's the target of this operation. But like I said many times, in places like sanctuary cities where we can't arrest a bad person in the jail, we would like to have access to the jail to arrest a criminal alien in the safety and security of a county jail, which is safer for the community, safer for the officers, and safer for the alien. But when you release a public safety threat out of a sanctuary jail and won't give us access to him, that means we got to go to the neighborhood and find him. And we will find him. But when we find him, he may be with others. Others that don't have a criminal conviction but are in the country illegally, they will be arrested too. Because we're not going to strike, and this is the difference between the last administration and this administration, ICE is going to enforce the immigration law. There's nothing in the INA, the Immigration Nationality Act, says you got to be convicted of a serious crime in order to be removed from this country. So there's going to be more collateral arrests in sanctuary cities because they forced us to go in the community and find the guy we're looking for.
Let me just make sure that I understand what you're saying, because at first you said that the first targets are those with criminal records, but you are also saying that those who are undocumented in the U.S., also who don't have criminal records, people who are working in their communities, maybe even have spouses who are American citizens, they could be swept up with ICE today as well?
What I'm telling you is when we go find our priority target, which is a criminal alien, If he's with others in the United States illegally, we're going to take enforcement action against him. We're going to enforce the immigration law.
Exactly.
What happens then? So the ICE officers.
Gag. I mean, what is this? A trial hearing? Like, what is this? What is she, a lawyer all of a sudden? It's like she asked the same question 6 times. He just told you exactly what he's doing. Like what they're looking for is little cracks in his armor and things they can nitpick at and, you know, and break down and do scientific experiments on vindictively and attack him and all this other kind of stuff, and then get a new headline that's bogus. That's what they're looking for. Okay. So it's really ridiculous. Quite frankly, I mean, the way I see it, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm always interested in seeing what you guys have to say. But it really just looks like it's like they refuse to accept common sense. They hear what the plan is. They're seeing what the plan is. The plan is being executed, and they're still asking, what's the plan? I mean, do your eyes not work? Do you need glasses? I mean, what's going on? I mean, the contacts, do they work? What is going on here? Do you need to get a hearing test done? Because she just doesn't get it. It's just ridiculous. She's another Ku Klux Kamala Harris duplicate at that. So I have to remind myself of that. Let's go.
An individual or a set of individuals and apprehends them. What next? What do these ICE officers do with them? Because in some cases, and you know this far better than I, they haven't been deported in the past because their country of origin won't take them.
Well, what happens after arrest? They're taken to an ICE office and they're processed and put in detention. While they're in detention, ICE officers work on travel documents. The host country sends travel documents saying, yeah, this is our citizen, this is our national. Then we make flight arrangements. So they could be in detention from a few days for a few weeks until that removal was made happen.
What if the host country doesn't want them, as has happened in the recent past?
We have various plans. We have various plans. Other countries are willing to take them. We have third safe country removals. So that's something we're working through. But I think you're going to see less of the recalcitrant countries that won't take their citizens back under this president, because this president has vowed that these countries will take them back. So I'll leave that up to the White House, but there will be negotiations with those countries who are pushing back on recalcitrancy, and they will be removed.
You know, I think that there is some kind of image that people might have, given how much we heard President Trump and you in the months during the campaign, and certainly during the transition, talking about what's going to happen of people being rounded up, loaded on buses, and dropping them off on the border. Is that how you see this happening?
Well, I don't like the analogy of rounding up. Look, again, this is a targeted enforcement operation. The president's been clear on this. We're going to concentrate on public safety threats. But in sanctuary cities, where they don't let us take that public safety threat into custody and the safety and security of the jail, we have to go find him. If he's with others in the country illegally, ICE will not turn the blind eye to that. ICE is going to uphold the oath they took. They're going to enforce the laws enacted by Congress and signed by a president. And they're going to do that without apology. I mean, if sanctuary cities force us in this position, that's exactly what's going to happen.
How many deportations do you think that you can carry out this year? Last year, for example, the Biden administration did deport about 270,000 people, which is the most since 2014. I know you said ICE has not been doing its job, but there have been a lot of deportations? What's going to happen coming up?
We're not going to act like Biden didn't just, we're not going to act like he didn't let millions of illegal immigrants across the border. Okay, that's what we're not going to do. Okay, because they're trying to do that. This whole they're still like they just can't accept defeat. They just refuse to lose and accept the loss. All right, they just can't stand the fact that we won. And they have to sit here and make it seem like Biden was this great savior president, and he was not. Okay, and it's not that Trump is perfect either necessarily. It's just the fact that Trump is Trump, number one, and the way he carries himself, and then his priorities. All right. And what he stands for, whereas and how he makes the American people first. Whereas you have Biden over here kicking the Americans to the curb, prioritizing these illegal immigrants, giving money to all these other nations, and then our lives get significantly worse. And free money for everybody else. America, I thought it was Oprah for a second, the way we were just handing out money. Okay. So to sit here and make it seem like Biden did all these great things is really just, idiocracy to me. like, did you even live in America for the last 4 years to feel what we felt? I mean, we've been unbidden by what has been. Shout out to whoever said that. Okay, somebody said that, and that was brilliant. We've been unbidened by what has been. You know, because, yeah. Let's go. Let me know what you guys think.
Yeah.
That is not accurate. The Biden administration is hiding the numbers. If you look at those removal numbers, over 80% were Border Patrol apprehensions on the border that were removed. They weren't ICE removals. So if you look at what ICE has done in the interior of the United States under 4 years of President Biden, they have the lowest numbers of removals in the history of the agency, despite a historic illegal crisis on the southern border. So they can claim 240,000, whatever removals. That's simply not the fact. And under the Trump administration, were there fewer removals? Yes. And why was that? Because we secured the border. We weren't releasing millions of people in the United States to have to go find and remove. So it doesn't matter how many people were deported, it's how many people were released in this country, and millions were released into this country by the Biden administration that were not released by the Trump administration.
I just want to be
Woo! He's cooking. Bro could have spoke any language, but he woke up and chose facts. Shout out to Tom Homan. He is absolutely cooking. All right, let's go.
clear. I'm not obviously getting these numbers out of thin air. They are coming from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency. You're saying that they're giving us false information?
The numbers are accurate. I'm talking, where do those removals come from? And they're not interior ICE removals. 80% of those removals were arrested by Border Patrol. So ICE didn't make the arrest, Border Patrol did, and they were removed by ICE on the southern border.
Understood. You told my colleague Caitlin Collins in December that you didn't know how many people you're going to depart because you didn't know the resources that you would have. How much money do you, and I understand that you've been in this job now for a matter of hours, but you've been working on it ahead of time for a long time. Do you know how much money you're going to need from Congress to carry this out?
Look, I've been working with members of Congress, and the whole team's been working on to come up with a number that makes sense. But like I've said many times, we're going to use whatever money we have and do the most efficient operation we can. The more money we have, the more we can do. And I think this election proves that the American people support the removals of criminal aliens in this country. So I'm looking for Congress to come through and give us the budget we need.
One of the president's executive orders suspends the U.S. refugee program, and that action could leave about 2,000 Afghans in limbo who were previously approved to resettle in the U.S., and that includes families of U.S. service members. Why shouldn't those people be allowed to come in the U.S. and stay as refugees?
Look, we need to secure the border. We need to stop the bleeding, right? We can keep bailing the water out of the boat, but we got to plug those holes. So right now, it's all about securing this nation, securing the border, and we'll address that in the coming days. But right now, we're going to shut that border down and get a hold of this problem. What's happening on our border is the biggest national security vulnerability I've seen in my career, and I've got over 35 years doing this. We need to take action to secure the border, and we'll discuss the other policies down the road. But right now, it's all about securing the border and saving lives.
So I just want to, again, make sure I understand this because this is all new and very, very important with regard to the Afghan refugees, that it was a blanket executive order, but perhaps it could be amended or specific groups of people could be addressed as you get your arms around this?
No, the order stands as is, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. We know that a lot of these refugees weren't properly vetted. There are things we need to fix that the last administration broke before we allow the program to continue. So we're on it. We'll be discussing it more in the future. Okay,
so Afghan.
Yeah, they can't stand the accountability. They cannot stand the accountability. They cannot stand the fact that we are fixing the problems that they have, enlarged. Okay, and really, that's just what it is. The damage that the Biden-Harris administration has done has been absolutely catastrophic. And, Trump is going to do the best he can to clean that stuff up. And, but it's like the Democrats, it's like they can't accept the fact that we're actually like jumping on it and fixing it and it like holding them accountable, okay, and fixing the issue that they have created. It's like they refuse to accept the fact that they were sinking the country. It's like they refuse to accept the fact that if Kamala Harris got into office, the country would have officially been underwater like the Titanic. They just refuse to accept that. They literally choose to remain in the delusion, okay, and of thinking that, everything was just peaches and cream and just great in Candyland, with Biden in office. I mean, Biden literally forgot he was president. Ku Klux Kamala Harris was going to keep us at war. And, the whole thing was just a giant dumpster fire at that. And look, California's on fire. Look at that. I mean, prayers to those individuals, of course, but vote blue no matter who, right? Let me know what you guys think.
Refugees, children in some cases of U.S. service members, they are no longer safe in the United States.
I want to say they're safe in the United States. The President issued an executive order to give us time to get our arms around this massive problem of immigration in the United States, massive vetting problem that we got to get our hands around. So that's where we're at.
Okay, so they'll be deported or not let in if they're on their way.
If they're in the country illegally, they have a problem. It's not okay to enter this country illegally if that's what you're talking about.
But if they were admitted as refugees and now that law changed.
And they'll be handled by case-by-case basis.
Yeah. Yeah, so shout out to Tom Homan for handling this very well and very professionally. Okay. It's I had just muted it. But yeah, they're just looking for things to attack, okay? And like I said, it's crazy to me to see how they all kind of sound the same. They all sound like a broken record, stating like, Biden accomplished this, and Biden was Superman, and he wears an S on his chest, and he fixed America, and he accomplished all the things that you guys say need to be fixed, and Biden did that. We didn't need Trump. Really? You really want to go there? I mean, seriously. It's just wild. Tom Homan handled this very well, and absolutely amazing to see Trump jump on these issues and tackle these issues day one. Okay, this is exactly what we need. And if Kamala Harris had won, this would not be the case. We'd be going deeper down the rabbit hole into a twisted, dark wonderland. And yeah, it'd be even worse than what it was. So that's that, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Shout out to the King Squad. I appreciate you guys. Thank you to everyone who left a positive comment, shares these videos, subscribes to the channel, donates to the channel, keeps me updated in the emails. You guys are awesome, and don't let anybody tell you any different, okay? And I hope if it's sunny near you, I hope you're enjoying that sunlight, okay? Every day is a gift and an opportunity to be great, all that positivity. And yeah, it's snowing around me right now. I'm not really a fan of the snow. If you're a fan of the snow, then, well, it must be terrific. But I'm not a big fan of the snow. Anywho, love to see what Tom Homan is doing. And there has to be consequences. There has to be consequences, guys. If you enter into the country illegally, I mean, we got rules. We have rules. Okay, you gotta abide by the rules. If there's no rules and it's just lawless, it's gonna be, it's gonna be like what? Demolition Man? I think that's a good movie. It's going to look like the apocalyptic scenes of the Terminator. It's just going to be problematic, and it's just going to be a giant dumpster fire, guys. All right, it's going to be sad. But hey, no, Trump is in office, so things are great. Things are getting better, steadily getting better at that. And yeah, we have. It's kind of funny too how like you have certain Democrats trying to attack Trump and say, "Oh, look, he said he was going to do this and that day one, and it's not done. He's a hypocrite." I'm like, dude, you must be a little wet behind the ears still. I mean, like, it's only been one day. Now it's like day 2 or 3. I'm getting my days confused slightly. But yeah, pretty wild stuff, you guys. Drop down below in the comments what you guys think. Have a great and awesome day at whatever time you're watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Peace.